Hello. So hi guys, welcome to my channel. The past few days now, surprisingly, like I have gained like 100 subscribers, which is like this is really kind of huge to me because more than 100 like strangers like watching my channel, making some comments, and also messages me through like different social media platforms. It's crazy, and also they were so all kind and nice. I really like I even like messaged a couple of them, and it's so great that like I get to know about each person's personalities and about their life, and it's really great that like I could be able to make some kind of connection with like throughout the social media platforms. Yeah, so one thing I want to say is like we hit 100 subscribers. I'm happy about that, and thank you for guys like supporting my channels, and I hope that like you guys continue supporting my channels in the futures, and hopefully you could be able to share my contents in my channels to other people to maybe get more people involved in this community. So hoping to see more people in the future. So since we hit the 100 subscribers, our next goal is getting 500. We will see if that actually happened, but hopefully that's near in the future. So like in one day I kind of posted about the videos about how to get internship at JP Morgan. I have got a couple questions throughout the social media such as like LinkedIn, Instagram, or YouTube platform that like people ask me specific questions, requested to have coffee chat. I did couple talk with the people who reached out to me. First of all, like I'm really grateful I was able to talk to each one of them because I get to know each individual story. A lot of my audience has like passion and goals in their life, and it really motivates me to do myself better for what I'm doing, and I'm happy to see like those kind of interactions and actions in my life. So I'm really thankful that those people who reached out to me, I'm hoping that your journey is moving forward, and I'm praying for you guys. Unfortunately, the amount of people who reached out to me was more than what I expected. I have received more than 500 messages. Personally, I always want to take the time for me to respond like each person's throughout the message or having like Zoom call. I don't think like I can cover them all. So now what I want to do for this video is that like aggregate all the questions I got from those people to kind of briefly mention about what kind of steps you could have to follow to get your internship. Whew, that takes longer than what I expected to explain what I wanted to get. Okay, anyway. Okay, so I have my coffee with me because it's morning. I just woke up like 30 minutes ago and decided to film this video, and I need some caffeine, so anyway. So before I talk about the tips, I kind of want to quickly talk about my background. I'm currently a rising senior at Cornell University. I study for hotel management and about to graduate within a year, and I'm currently interning at JP Morgan Chase at the corporate investment banking under the payment solution divisions. I have 1 more week to left to finish off my internship. So I think the main reason why like I wanted to make this video is because there's so many people who reach out to me who are like first gen students going to college, and also like doesn't have any working in finance or like banking industries in their past career. And I think I really be able to like relate to those people because I was one of them. For example, like I'm first gen student, so when I came to school I didn't really know anything about what career, like what steps I need to do for me to get a job or get an internship. Networking, I did not know how to frame my networking. Interview process was something I struggle because especially English is my second language, so when I'm talking and explaining my thought process to other people, I find my struggles to explain my thought process to show about my personalities. It's definitely an opportunity for that anyone can get because I don't have background in finance or banking industries, but I was able to manage myself to get there because the few simple steps I did as an candidate, and that boosts my chance to get those positions. So in this video I kind of want to talk about a few different points. First one, I want to talk about what homework you should do for you to prepare for those to apply those positions, so research and preparations. And another things I want to talk about is like a networking that helps you to increase your chance to get in, and also provide some clarification about what is the actual purpose of networking. And then I kind of want to talk about how to ace the interview for my way. The first sections is about research and preparations. Doing homework is one of the basic that you have to do for you to put yourself into starting point. I think one thing I have seen from a lot of students struggling is that they are applying for a bunch of positions for them to get an offer. But if your final goal is working at one of the biggest like firms such as like the JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, that was my goal. Not just like title of the firms, but the firm itself is so big that you can able to move from different location, different positions, and you're able to leverage different kinds of skills into a different team. And I think those are things I want to experience for myself. So that's the reason, one of the reasons why like I want to focus on applying for those big firms. So instead of applying for 300 or 500 positions, what I did was like I mainly focused on applying for those firms started. But I think one thing I didn't really do was like when I got my invitation for HireVue, I haven't really learned anything about the background about the firms, but the position I was applying for. For example, when I was sophomore, I was trying to apply for like asset and wealth management program. But when I got my HireVue, there's a question was like, oh, what do you want to apply for asset management, or why are you working for private bank? At that point, I did not know what the private bank was, the difference between asset and wealth management. So of course my answer was very vague, and obviously I didn't get like final round interview from that. So, and I think like some people are capable to do that without trying putting their effort, but I was not one of them. I knew myself like I was the person who needs to put like 2 times more effort for me to be the average. So what I usually done was like I always like put up with like my Google Docs or Word document for me to write about the firm's informations, what kind of like organization that's involved within this community. Personally, what I was through is that like so since I'm half Nigerian, so I look at the programs that relate to like African communities within the JP Morgan. The one of the program I was able to found that it was that Black Pathway at the JP Morgan. So I kind of did some research and find out why this firm is resonate with me. They like went to their website and find an article that what JP Morgan did, community towards to the racial minorities, find the relevance or connection between myself to the firm. I think for me, I personally thought it was great action from JP Morgan to supporting the racial community in terms like the wealth gap. So okay, I guess like another thing I should briefly mention about is like the formatting base. So the general I always start from like the research over the firms and go to like the position itself. For me, like when I was learning about the firm, I realized that JP Morgan has different sector of the revenue they're generating. So they have like private bank, corporate investment bank, and commercial bank, and different kind of sectors for them to generate their business itself. For you to understand your job you're applying for, you have to understand about your company's structures and see where you're trying to place yourself into. I think like when I was in like sophomore or junior year, I was kind of misunderstanding about the ideas of like networking. The reason what I'm saying is that like I always thinking about quantity of networking that I had without realizing like how much the time commitment I need to provide. So one thing I was able to learn from the purpose of networking is don't expect that like they will give you like referrals. Sometimes it does. From my experiences, that's like in minor times. Maybe it helps you to getting referrals and maybe put yourself into like a position. You can skip the first round if you get into the final round. There's some people like that had happened, but as an average person, I think I should say I didn't really see those kind of opportunities that often. Using a network and as an opportunity for you to like learn about what position you're applying for from their perspective. For example, when I was networking with those people, I didn't know the payment solution team itself has different sectors between the sales and product. I think that really helps me to prepare to talk about how this division works, strategize about what can I say about myself and making up some reason of why I want to join this specific teams that I'm applying for. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is the interview process. So now you have done your homework about the researching firms and positions, and you have then worked with multiple people for you to learn about the company cultures and the work itself. It's now the time for interview process for you to utilize all the knowledge you've gained in the past and showing about how passionate you are to working in these firms. So interview is really, I guess like I found myself really struggle because sometimes I thought I put like 110% of my effort. I thought the conversation was great, but I had a lot of rejections throughout the process in my recruiting. So I think HireVue itself, I think a lot of people may know, but it's like one-way interview. So they will give you like questions and you have 2 minutes to answer it. But I think there's some few things you should follow, increase your chance for you to move to the next round. Even if it's like one-way interview, they will still want to ask you some question that like a regular interview might ask. For example, like they will say, why JP Morgan? People will ask you about that. So based on the research that you did in the past, it will help you to come up with a really insightful reason of why you're applying for this firms. And in terms like behaviors, when you have to like provide like, if you're in this situation, what do you do kind of questions. I think I always like to use my personal story, both like professional and like non-professional side of perspectives. And then after you finish your HireVue, and likely if you get like an super super day or final round of interview, you're one step closer for you to get the job. Final round is like sounds really like harsh, intimidating. For me, I found myself it's a very casual interview to have because you are basically talking with your potential managers or analysts or associates, and they kind of want to learn about you as a person because they have all your information about your resumes, your cover letter. They have all the things you did in the past. So on here, you kind of want to talk about more about your personalities. I think that's I really like about Super Day because everyone's so casual, and even though I struggle to explain some of the thoughts throughout the interview, but they are willing to like help you because they understand like, each individual like candidate. So just be who you are is something like I really recommend it. In terms of technicals, or I guess for me it was like half technicals, half behavioral. There was like my interviewer gave certain kind of scenarios or like payment like industry illustration, how do you approach it. She asked me like those brief questions to me. Some of the questions I have told was like I should know about the basic evaluation of the firms. Me thinking about what kind of payment solution we should provide for each client. And most of the question that I got was like that was not like more about like right or wrong answers. It's more about what you think, how you analyze it, and what kind of action you would do when you're working as in a team. And at that point, I was like, why are we doing those kind of process? But at the same time, when you start working as an intern, I have experiences a similar project because now I'm working learning about one industries, and the client asked us to answer 2 questions. It's very vague. So you have to come up with your own like framework for you to approach and provide a specific answers to those vague questions. So if you are able to like ace those technical questions, more likely you'll be prepared to perform when you are entering those internships. That was a lot. So I was like, when my interview was talking about MPC platform, it's like multi-party commerce. I didn't know what they were, so I was like, oh, so excuse me, what is MPC platforms? What they are? What do you mean by like C1 and C2? I did not know what they were, so I literally asked each single questions. And throughout those interview process, I was able to actually learning new materials within this industries. So that shows about like you're willing to learn and build. I think that was one of the reasons when I think my manager liked me and hired me as an summer analyst. So yeah, I think those are the things you could able to do as an example. So yeah. So that was everything. Sorry, I just used a lot of my social energy and I'm tired, and and also my camera keeps stop recording. I don't know. I still need to figure out how to use this camera. But anyway, that was it for the video. I hope that those information was helpful for you to understand what kind of step you should do and prepare for you to get those like offers for your internships. I know it's really stressful things to have, especially like me. I remember like I didn't have my internship during like beginning of summer of my junior year, even though a lot of my friends all those offers. And also like I have no clue about the recruiting guidelines or the process to do, especially like as a first gem. I didn't really have like opportunities for me to understand those kind of structure like earlier time. But I think one thing I would say is like you don't really have to be like us and other people. Some people may be like have so much opportunities for them to just focusing about their academics and recruiting. But like myself, like I spend most of my time with like working for part-time jobs, me to like pay for my rent and also my living expenses and study for my class. And I barely could able to spend so much little bit of time with like preparing for like my recruiting. And I feel it's like everybody has like different situations, but the only way for you to win these game is like playing smart and understand about what you want out from this process. Don't compare yourself as other people because that's always be not a great way for you to find what you want to do in the future. So I hope like this video was helpful. If you like this video, please like, and if you're new to this channel, please like subscribe to my channel and please share this content and my channels to other people. So hopefully one day we can able to reach to 500 subscribers in the future. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.